What up, world? It's your boy Charles Brown. We going live, talking live. It's a Saturday. It's a beautiful day out here, so I decided to come outside and I want to talk about this Remy Ma situation. Remy Ma says that drill music is the entire genre is super overrated. And let me be the first to tell you, I agree with her. I said this on the podcast about a week, maybe 2 weeks ago on Clash the podcast. I was speaking on the genre of drill music. Now I know a lot of people like drill music, a lot of young people, right, and a couple older people, right. But you can't compare that to hip hop, bro. Like what we was doing and what we still doing to this day, where you gotta be lyrically inclined and you gotta be nice with the beats and you gotta be dope with the bars and you gotta know how to DJ. You know what I'm saying? And you gotta know how to tell a story, right? As a genre, I think that drill is very far behind what hip hop itself really is supposed to be, right? But I want to talk about Remy Ma first, and we're gonna get into it. She says she was on the Jason Lee show, and she spoke very candidly about the rise of drill music. Quote: "I don't have an exact person, but I feel like a lot of drill is overrated. Like I don't know what you're saying, but that's all anybody listens to. It's not an artist thing, it's a sound, and I feel like it's a whole genre that's super overrated." Remy gave jarring to the realities that manifest from the current wave. There it is. Say less. We shouldn't be dropping no more. All right. So, like I said, I feel like the genre of drill, right? We never experienced this before. Like let's think about hip hop. Let's think about hip hop as it started, right? Wasn't a whole lot of killing of each other. As a matter of fact, we can almost say, I'm not gonna say they were the only, but they were like the biggest, the first major death in hip hop was Biggie and Tupac, right? And that was a major blow to hip hop. Wasn't a lot of killing. It was a lot of battles and a lot of dissing, but it wasn't a lot of killing. Now you got to think, if you're listening to drill right now, these guys on a full mission. They killing everything moving, bro. They killing everything moving. One day they talking about this guy, the next day that guy dead, and he 15 years old. That ain't music no more, bro. That's gang warfare, right? At the end of the day, you got to understand, when you have somebody that's a child and they don't understand their actions, and they getting into these lyrical battles. These lyrical battles ain't the same as when we had lyrical battles, right? When I was young and I was rapping, I walked all the way to my man Bebo's house. It was three of us and three of them. We walked to Carriage Hill to rap battle. And when we got there, I think Bebo's fumbled his rap, couldn't remember his lines. We laughed about it, and we didn't even really get the rap battle off. And that was the end of that. We went to the same school, so we already knew each other. But we walked all the way over there to rap battle. Nobody fought. Nobody pulled out guns. Nobody got shot, right? Try it now. Try it with a drill record, two drill rappers meeting up to drill battle. They not doing what we was doing. They don't deserve the same genre love, because it's not a love music, right? And I went and I listened, right? And Remy Ma's right. It's super overrated because it's not even, you don't even need the skill to be in it no more. I say it all the time. Anybody can rap. You don't need the skill to rap no more. All you need to know how to do is ride that beat just enough to spit your venom at your enemy. And they're not even spitting like full. You damn near just kind of singing a melody over the edges of the beat. You're not rapping like that. So you can just say whatever, put the auto tune on it, and now you going at your ops, and somebody gonna pay because of that. That's not what hip hop. Hip hop was created to stop the violence. In case you didn't know, when hip hop was created when we were younger, hip hop was created so the gangs would stop fighting. It was so much violence and bloodshed in New York City, they were trying to find a way to not do it, not have the violence. Right? The simple fact of the matter is, when you reinsert violence into something, it becomes more violent. So let's say we started hip hop to stop the violence. When hip hop first came out, they wasn't talking about violence. Just being 100 with you. They wasn't talking about violence. When hip hop first came out, they were talking about peace, unity, love, and having fun, right? But violence is a real thing. And as they told the stories, they came back and started to reinsert reality into it with the message. Grandmaster Flash Furious 5 message and things like that. As it progressed, it got more and more increasingly street orientated with like Schoolie D, NWA and a Posse, and Ice-T, 6 in the Morning. Quite a few artists injected that violent feel back into the music, and I understand that. And we ate it up. At the more you had Ice-T on the cover of his album with a shotgun, right? You had KRS-One on the cover of his album with a Uzi, right? So violence slowly crept back into hip hop as the money became more prevalent, and people wanted to tell their stories, right? To the point we ended up with gangster rap, right? And we ended up with a lot of people trying to make money back in New York to compete with gangster rap. So guess what they did? They got even more gangster. Then you got Wu-Tang, right? Then you got Onyx, Bush, my guy from Digging in the Crates. You got Black Moon. You got Mobb Deep. It became more about the toughness and violence than about the hip hop, right? And I get it. These are great. This was the golden age. So you could be violent, but you still had to be nice with that mic. And Mobb Deep, Black Moon, Onyx, these guys were spitters that were telling a more violent story. Redman, a lot of these raps was hard, right? But they wasn't killing nobody on the street because of the raps. And that's the difference with where we at with drill now. You can become a drill rapper tomorrow and you can get killed within that same week. I'm not exaggerating, right? So the simple fact of the matter is, it's not the same as what we were experiencing with hip hop. Yeah, people fought. You had to hold your own, go out there, fist fight, do whatever you needed to do. Buck 50 somebody, you had to cut them. Even every now and then somebody got shot, is what it was, right? The streets gonna be what the streets are regardless. But when the streets bleed over into the music and a person that's supposed to be an artist, life is on the line, that was never the case with rap. If anything, the rapper was the last one to get killed. The rapper was the last one to get hurt because we loved the rapper so much. The rappers was walking around like kings. And they wasn't making as much, they wasn't making money like that. The streets was still making all the money. The rappers wasn't making no money. But the rappers had more love. All the dope dealers and the hustlers wanted to be rappers. And all the rappers wanted to be hustlers and dope dealers. As ironic as that sound. But what happened at the end of the day, it reversed. And now all the people that's on the streets hustling and grinding, they see how much money is in the rap. So they bringing that street mentality, that jail mentality right into the game. The game was never for all that. It was a culture of artists that were making art. Now it's straight up gangsters putting together two sentences and calling it a song and going out riding and spinning blocks and doing all this stuff, which is whatever. Now, understand, we've always had extra realness in our culture. We've always had violence in our culture, right? I understand that. But we've also had a level of respect for human life. That human life that respect ain't there no more. You know how you know? Look how they ran up on XXXTentacion. Didn't even give a man a chance. They didn't give him a chance. He didn't even get out the car seat. All for a bag with 50 grand. That's all they had. That's all they got from that robbery. Shot that man, took it from his child and everybody else. Right? Look what they did to little TJ. What was it, a Starbucks? Chick-fil-A, somewhere he was at. Dude ran up on him. Tried to take his life. Every single person every single rapper, look at Takeoff, right? I'm not saying he's doing drill, but I'm just talking about rap in and of itself, right? The factor of human life ain't there no more. They don't look at you as human no more. You a op. I think one of the worst words to come into this culture was op. Because, oh, you chilling with the ops, you kicking with the ops, like that's one of the worst words in this culture because it dehumanizes other people that look like you. You and that man could be mad cool if y'all actually talked, but he a op. So it's I can't do nothing to him but gun him down. And that's where we at with this music. Remy Ma has a very valid point. Anybody that don't see that probably is in that life real heavy, right? Or they into the music and they really never been in the life at all. It's two kind of people. It's somebody that's really heavy in the life and can't see no way out, or somebody that knows nothing about it and just think it's cool because it's the songs that they play all day. They think it's cool, so they're gonna make these comments on Twitter and say these little things. But these rappers' lives is really in danger. You're at home. You're some kid somewhere in school that ain't really got nothing to lose, that's amping up these beefs. You clicking the songs and you playing them and you making TikToks and all this to that, and you're amping up beefs that you have no clue about. Meanwhile, that guy got to walk the streets of the Bronx somewhere and get ran down on by 6 dudes because of a song, right? So that, to me, as music, Teddy Pendergrass, Luther Vandross, and them ain't have to worry about that. We got it all wrong. And those guys were talented. It takes talent to be able to sing like these guys. It takes talent to rap like a Redman or Eminem or Jay-Z, Pusha T, any of these guys. No matter what they rapping about, it takes talent. It takes brain cells. And when your whole rap from beginning, if I give a drill rapper an album, I say, we're going to give you a 10-song album. And you just write all the hooks, all the bars, everything, right? What you say, a lack of associating and answering posts as a groupie. So if I give you a whole album and I say, all right, we're gonna do this whole drill album. And from beginning to end, that album, if I take away the lyrics, if I take away the music, every lyric from that album gonna sound the same from beginning to end. The topic's gonna be the exact same. Your entire structure of what you're talking about, that's not a real album. That's not real music. You have to be able to shift through different subject matter. You have to be able to talk about different things. You have to be able to relate to society. Do you realize that little bubble of all that fighting and killing is a very small bubble? That don't really go on really everywhere else in the world. That's a small percentage of people that's fighting and stabbing and killing. That is the small degree, right? If you look at real life, people are walking around the mall, they chilling. People are going to work, going to school. They making relationships, they making money, they doing different things. They are not trying to chase no op down. So it's not real life. It's not really reflecting on the world. So if your entire bubble is you drink, smoke, go to the club, come home, and try to kill an op, you're really not in society like that. And nobody can listen to that all day. I just saw a girl on TikTok today breaking down how the rap genre itself is falling apart. How it, for the first time in the history of the genre, right? They don't have the number one. We don't have the number one music anymore. Because the simple fact of the matter of people aren't really trying to hear it like they used to. It's the same stuff as oversaturated. We've never lost market share as a brand. Hip hop and rap has never lost its market share. And for some reason, now we are declining in sales. The hip hop as a whole, other than the big ones like J. Cole, Kendrick, and this and that. This is why the album sales are down. This is why now a hit record is 30K. You can't grab all these young people and just snatch them all up, throw them out there with no guidance. They're not even doing A&R no more. What they used to do was they called it artists and artists and I'm thinking of the word, but what they would do is groom the artists. Right? It was an artist management thing. They would take an artist and mold them. It would take a year, however long it took, shape them into a real artist. Right? I believe it's called artist and repertoire, A&R. And they would take time to build. They would artist build. Right? Exactly. So what happened was the music industry started going so fast that they weren't even doing that anymore. The record labels used to send your demo. They would sift through hundreds of demos. An A&R would sift through a box of demos. He would listen to all these demos when they was doing their job. A lot of them didn't do their job. They would go out to shows and stay to the end of the show, watch every act, trying to find that one needle in a haystack. Now they stopped doing that. They started firing a lot of A&Rs because the budgets was getting cut because MP3s came out and they wasn't making the money. They used to sell a rap CD. At one time, at a high, a CD, you had to pay $29.99 for some of them CDs. Think about that. When you're going platinum back then, it was different when they bought a CD for $29.99. I was there. When that format was new, CDs was $30, bro. Then they went down to $20. And it stayed at $20 for years. CDs went down to $9.99. That cut a lot of people's pockets. Then they start coming out. The first week it was on sale. Oh, get it for $8.99. It hurt a lot of sales, a lot of money they was making. These people want to keep their home in Calabasas, bro. So they start dropping the A&Rs. And the A&Rs that they did keep, guess what they said? I want to keep my job. So I'm not going to waste a lot of time trying to build no rap artist. I'm going to get somebody that's already popping. They started getting you if you already popping. They started doing like, oh, he's selling out the trunk, what they did with Ludacris. That's why they had a bidding war. A bidding war is nothing but a lot of people not trying to do their job, in my opinion. There's so much talent. Why are you bidding millions on one guy? It was 4 or 5 labels trying to get Ludacris. And it's a bunch of other artists that were trying to grab people because they already was popping. Right? What's my guy that got down in Memphis? That guy Young Dolph. Labels trying to get him for years. Because if you're already situated, they don't got to do much. They just come in and put you in the right places where you need to be, and they talk to the right connections, and therefore, boom, you're way easy to pop. Right? They don't got to do the work no more. So as they are snatching up all these artists, they're not looking at the real artistry, somebody that's really in it for the love. They're just getting somebody that's coming out hot and fast, that is got that street connect. So they're not looking over here at the girl that's singing her ass off, right? Going to nightclubs, singing with live bands. She got a beautiful voice, beautiful body, but she's taking too long, and she don't have the right connects. This guy, let's be honest, he in the hood. He going to every show 50 deep. So he look like he got fans, right? Because he bringing the whole hood with him. Can't rap worth a damn, right? But he coming in there deep. So it look like, oh, snap, this guy's popping. They putting the press on the DJ to play the music or get stomped out. So it's a whole different thing. Now he's in there. Now he looking like he's popping. So guess what the record label's going to do? They're going to sign this guy, right? Other than the real artist that's over here. Now you get these 20, 30 guys that's out the trunk. We sell our CDs out the trunk. You see what I'm saying? So then once you get this guy, all these guys in here, that's all these street guys, ain't no artistry in there no more. When hip-hop was in the golden age, like such as they say, you had Biggie and Kwame, right? You had all different styles. But once the corporation started to streamline it, it became We only want the one style that's going to sell the most. Right? Kanye fought like hell to be Kanye when he first came in. They wouldn't even let no Kanye. Kanye had to muscle his way in through beats. Kanye would have never got a record deal just trying to rap. Never. They didn't want Kanye to rap. They didn't want Kanye, the pink polos. They didn't want nothing to do with it. But he forced himself in on his own. He said he paid for his own videos, paid for his own studio time. A lot of stuff he did on his own, and he got rejected. He had to go get another deal from, I believe it was Epic, before Rockefeller and them would even consider him. I don't remember if it was Epic or it was some other label, right? Because they wanted everybody to sound like Cameron. They wanted everybody to be the Dipset, the Locks. It was a formula. At one time, when Rockefeller, Dipset, and it was quite a few. Everybody was hardcore. Everybody was street hustlers. Everybody was the same. Everybody. It was an era where if you wasn't rapping like Jay, if you wasn't this hustler, you wasn't getting no record deal. It's just a fact. So when the game shapes like that, and that was 20-something years ago. That was 20 years ago. So when they shape the game like that against you, right? It's going to have repercussions. And what's going to happen is some of them young people that's growing up in that, they're going to think that's all you can be. Is this hard-ass, thug-ass, keep it real gangster rapper. And this is where we are. Now you got drill rappers running around. They heartless, right? Don't have no feelings. They drunk, they high, they perked out. They on all kind of pills. They sipping lean. They doing all this nonsense, whatever. It is what it is. We all did that as kids. We did something to that degree. But at the end of the day, we still knew how to go get a job, right? We knew that some of this was just entertainment. It ain't entertainment to these kids. It's real life. They really running around, packing all day, going wherever they got to go with the strap on them and running down on each other. So, to me, as a genre of music, that ain't music. If you're just talking about the crimes you committed all night, that's not music. It's nothing redeeming about that. So as we watch this genre, these record labels, these companies, these overseers of this culture force more and more of this one-sided art form, this one-sided type of style of music onto us, we're going to see a decline in people wanting to hear it. Why do you think Taylor Swift, everybody going to run to see to hear that now? Look at the rappers that was at the Grammys getting celebrated. How many of them was drill rappers? You had Kendrick in there. And Kendrick won, right? Wasn't a lot of drill rapping in there. I didn't see a lot of drill rapping going on at the Grammys, right? But at the end of the day, that's what they're choosing because they think the kids will only listen to that. And I got a surprise for you. A lot of these kids are way more open-minded than you think they are. A lot of these kids are way more smart to what real music's supposed to sound like. A lot of these kids know a lot of these old songs. These kids be going around singing New Edition and all kind of old stuff, right? That you be like, how you know that song? Well, I saw it on TikTok. Wherever they saw it, right? At the end of the day, these kids have more to offer than just all this gangster drill, all this, I'm this, I'm that, right? My opposite and this and that, right? The simple fact of the matter is we're selling these kids short by pumping. Who said that? I think it was it might have been Kanye that said, if you go look at your playlist, go on your Apple Music and look at the first 10 songs. The first 10 rap songs and what they're talking about. And it's murder, bang, drugs, going to the club, getting high and drunk. If we continue to, that's all we talk about. Yeah, everybody like to go get drunk. Everybody like to go get high. Everybody like to go to the club and have a good time. But a lot of people get up and work in the morning. A lot of people go to church in the morning. A lot of people got kids. A lot of people got wives. A lot of people got a lot of other stuff to talk about. People's lives ain't ending at the club. And if that's all we got to offer as a genre, hip hop is out of here. Because a real person, they're gonna play that for a little bit, and then they're gonna go play some real music that really got some feeling to it. And until these rappers understand, you cannot just rap about the most negative stuff and try to make it look cool. I think we did that. We failed these kids as an older generation. We got them thinking that if they just act like we acted all day and don't turn it off, just nonstop all day, just they want to act like we acted. Even though we grew up and we understood that that's not really going to get you nowhere. They don't know that yet. So they're being molded and shaped into these little monsters. I'm seeing the news is crazy. They shooting you for anything now, bro. Anything. They shoot the mailman right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't matter. So the simple fact is we've created something that we can't take back. And until the message get out there, it ain't going to matter what we say. And if the message is the more ignorant you talk, the more money you get, guess what they're going to do? If you look at Twitter right now, go look at Twitter and just look at the fights of these kids with these teachers. I ain't never seen this many kids jumping on teachers in my life. They jumping on these teachers like it's nothing now. They don't have no respect. None. But that's what we created. What I say in the beginning, hip-hop started to stop the gang violence. And in the beginning, they weren't talking about violence. But it crept back in because life is real, and I get it. That's what it is. We all have some issues in the streets that we had to deal with. But once you keep rapping about it, it's glorifying it at some point. I know we wanted to say, oh, see, Dolores Tucker and all these people was wrong. But at some point, we got to take onus that we kind of made it look cool. We made it look cool to sag our pants and to have burners on our hip and to be blunted out and rolling the blunts and all it and drinking, right? We was drinking everything, bro. In front of these kids, smoking cigarettes, doing everything. Papa dudes, everybody's doing everything. And we never, ever tried to let them understand the consequences of that. They just grew up thinking that that was how you are. And you don't got to be like that. But that's what we're not letting them understand. Now, drill rap is a manifestation of us acting like that. It's nothing. These kids really didn't do nothing wrong. All they saw was what we showed them. But if you take all the bad stuff and then start making that into a subculture of our music, and then that becomes the forefront. Right now, drill rap almost represents rap as a whole. Drill rap is a subculture. It's a spinoff of hip-hop itself. But right now, if you go on any playlist, if they say hip-hop now, right, the top 50 hip-hop hits, 40 of them joints going to be drill. It is what it is. I'm sorry to tell you that. Because nobody else is taking a chance on kids that's rapping about something else. I know for a fact, the entire time of rap, there's always been an alternative to whatever was hot. They refuse to put $1 into anything alternative, and that's why the culture's all messed up. Alternative don't exist at the record label. You did what? You rapping about what? Oh, no. Where's your song about lean at? You ain't bust your gun in that song at all. What's going on? They're gonna pay you more to do that than they ever gonna pay you to talk about the moon stars and the quasars, right? When the last time you heard a rapper talking about he actually had actual care for a girl or guy, whatever they into? When have you ever heard? It's always, oh, he a munch. You thought I was feeling you a munch. Like, it's like, it gotta always, you gotta be beneath them. They gotta be either dissing you or they breaking up with you or they over you. F dude, F nigga free, all it. It's gotta be, you gotta be beneath them. They gotta be clowning you. It's never, we in a relationship and I really care about you. Imagine all the songs from the 80s if we never had them songs, them slow songs. The dang on R&B ain't even doing that no more. They so caught up in making $1. The R&B, they cursing, they effing. It's nothing else. They're not in love with you no more. They just want to get it and kick you out. Every R&B singer is Drake now. I don't know how these guys. I'm sitting here and I'm like, how do you make any kind of love when it's all about really just hate? If I have sex with you and kick you out, I hate you. I used you. So how can I ever love somebody when everything around me is hate? I got the drill rappers shooting at me. I got the R&B people. They don't want nothing to do. They want to clown me and post me on social media and clown. You know what I'm saying? Whatever. It's crazy. Everybody got their guard up. Everybody's worried about getting clowned online, and there is no love, and there's no love in this industry. So we got a genre of hip hop that's beautiful. Go back and listen to Common's The Light. The Light, not Delight. Common, The Light. Go back and listen to that song. For lack of a better word, go back and listen to LL Cool J's I Need Love, right? Go back and listen to like Andre 3000. Go back and listen to the Love Below album. They're not doing that no more. They would never sign that right now. They would never sign that. But that's where we are. And I'm sure there's a bunch of artists that's making good quality music. I'm not saying you ain't got to be no simp, right? You ain't got to be no simp, but your subject matter has to be, you gotta expand it. To some degree, your subject matter has to expand. You can't just constantly be, you the hardest dude on the block, you don't love nobody, you hate every girl, like you know what I'm saying? It just don't make no sense to me. Because at some point, you do love somebody. Look at all these rappers that got all this stuff going on, but they got a girl. They got a wifey that they going home every night laid up. But you won't hear about it on them songs. So what I'm saying is, as a culture, hip hop is it's a big giant globe. And drill rap is a small, really, really small country on that globe. But somehow that's representing the whole globe right now. We got to make it right. If we don't support better music, we ain't gonna never get it. We're never gonna get it. So my whole thing is, if you have a problem with Remy Ma saying that drill rap is overrated, you probably are part of the people who are not letting this culture grow. You're probably playing drill rap all day and all night, which is, I want somebody to tell me, not saying every music has its place, right? But I want somebody to show me the artistry of how the art of it is, right? Because what I'm saying is, I can break you down. I can break it down to you. I can play you 10, 15, 20 rap songs that's pure art. Pure art, right? Should be on the wall in the museum. Now, if you can show me 20 drill songs that don't sound exactly the same, that's about the exact same thing, then you would make a point to me. But I don't think you're going to find that. And I understand subcultures are subcultures for a reason. That particular sound is what makes that culture, right? I understand that. So drill rap has to sound a certain way just in and of itself to be drill rap. But at some point, if it's not advancing itself, it's going to it's going to strangle everything around it. If the record label's putting drill rap first, but drill rap isn't getting any better, it's going to choke out the whole hip hop as a whole. I'm just telling you what it is. Now, some people say, oh, drill rap came from London, right? I don't think they're rapping about the way we took it and ran with it with Chicago and New York. I understand that it was born out of necessity of how they wanted to carry their business. But at some point, when it becomes bigger than everything else, we got to reevaluate it, right? If drill rap going to be the main rap or the main music, then at some point we're gonna have to step in there, and some better rappers gonna have to get on it, right? Some lyricists gonna have to jump on these drill beats, and some Christian rappers gonna have to jump on these drill beats, and some poets gonna have to jump on these beats, because we can't have our whole culture represented by drill music, but it has no actual substance. So at some point, if that's the sound we got, then some other people need to jump on that sound and spit some fire. And that's all I can tell you, because I don't see how this could continue with that subject matter that they putting on the drill records being the forefront of every Apple Music playlist and every Spotify playlist, title playlist, and that's going to carry our culture forward. It's not. Our culture is beautiful, bro. It has a lot to offer. It's a lot of things to talk about. A lot of witty wordplay. There's a lot of stuff that we can see that no one else can see, politically and otherwise. We still dealing with racism, bro. We still dealing with we still ain't get our freaking retribution for what happened to us for 400 years. There's a lot of stuff going on that we could be talking about, right? But we stuck on drinking, smoking, taking drugs, and killing ops. And I know we way better than that. And I'm not gonna do no more talking about this. Let me know what you think. I'm gonna catch y'all on the flip side. CLBMG, I appreciate you. Go check the website out. Go check the new music out. Clash every Wednesday night at 8 o'clock. Go down below in the link. It's we got some merchandise that to support the channel. All right. I'm gonna catch y'all on the flip side. I'm gonna be right